I've been giving substantial thought in regards to where to go next for destination points in consideration of our evolving journey, and very much a mutual one, of a developing appreciation, or maybe you approach on first interaction grounds. Again, whatever vantage point you have in familiarity to the artists we showcase on in any occasion, in a collaborative respect, which I think is the best way to enjoy music, I want you to feel at home here. So whether you're a longtime fan of familiarized knowledge to the artists of showcase, or a new listener, I hope this is a fun time for you, with competent art delivery that I readily see, not only again of generalized musical offerings we spotlight here, not one artist or track I've not loved, and certainly of the European metal backing. There's never been an exception on that front. Anyway, I've been considering where to go next in quite a path of possibilities, because it very much is going to be a deep dive we're taking into getting a much richer perspective and examination of the vocal capabilities and power of DIANNE van Giersbergen through her very own Artist Spotlight Showcase. Certainly deserved for her an awareness of what we will be entertaining. Again, quite a deep dive that I've been meaning to start work on for months now. And finally, we're at this point, having just wrapped, or nearly wrapped in fact, our first phase of what I determined would be the initiation step through a Zandria exploration, not only of their history at a greater level, but surveying the DIANNE era in a depth I didn't foresee, with in fact 3 album spotlights. I'm considering the EP as well, the 2015 Fire and Ashes collection. Anyway, and we've nearly wrapped on that with 4 more numbers to go, but the other 2 albums have been entertained fully. Any way you look at it, and of course I love Zandria, again, symphonic metal being an immediate draw for me in regards to metal particulars, so I keep an open door to anything, and Zandria's instrumental scores were quite invigorating on first interaction, again, of present-day standing of what brought me in through Amber Voorverhees' vocal presence, and then digging back as well to Manuela Kraler, or as well, taking extensive time with DIANNE van Giersbergen and exploring her time in the group. Again, I happen to be a Zandria fan of any standing of what we've explored together in a collaborative route, because I have seen the individualized capabilities on part of all 3 leading vocalists, and they're all quite interesting fits to Zandria. But DIANNE, I won't deny, what a golden light and period for Zandria's tenure. She was just such an amazing fit to the group. But in the time since finishing, and certainly with the last chapter of Theater of Dimensions, entertaining that final work and knowing that was at the point of, at least in our journey together, that was the departure point for DIANNE with the group. And it's certainly bittersweet because she was such a great fit. But anyway, life takes us on all new chapters, and DIANNE has been quite busy in many other extensions of capabilities of what we will be hearing together, with what I predicted as next steps being, although I don't remember if I told you determinately that we were going here next. It might have just been, I might have alluded to it, but I just have given you a general list over time through 3 phases of interactions to DIANNE's later works, whether it be Ex Libris, DIANNE, or collaborations, which all sound quite promising based on what I know. But the question is, where to go next? I was thinking Ex Libris. I'm going to hold off on that, not that I don't want to get to it. With Ex Libris' voice and a little bit of what I know from them, I am quite eager, and I've been trying to fit them in, but it is the start of the new year for 2024 as I'm filming this. I have no idea when this is going to get up. I'm assuming much later. But to give you a window of present standing, again, I am biting at the chomps to get to Ex Libris whenever. But I think it would be best to hold out for a little bit so I can give them their due diligence, because it will, like Zandria, be a deep dive, a realization of all of their first 3 albums, in fact. Similar credit, I think DIANNE deserves that. Just from what I've heard of her, again, on Zandria's presence of a spinto soprano operatic range, I've fallen madly in favor. Another addition to my growing favorites list of metal vocalists of in the European origin, of Dutch as well, and there's a lot of promise in that, a particular entertainment venue in the symphonic metal music world. Anyway, I'm thinking of Event Temptation and Blackbriar specifically, certainly on vocal capability, but of a spinto soprano range, and again, favorability, and many introductions I'm having with a self-diving journey into the European metal market. I'm learning so many cool names that are quickly enamoring me to the graces of opera as an instrument of symphonic metal, and there's quite a versatility in that. DIANNE is an excellent fit. And to that credit again, Ex Libris, I've been looking forward to that with a full realization of their works. Deserved, I think. But I'm going to push that out, just because in particular, as I'm filming this, it is the start of a new year. And I did let you know on a community post at least a couple days ago, I think at the start, in fact, of the new year, that with 2024, we have so many cool ventures ahead of us. I cannot wait to show you what I have in the waiting wings. Just trust me, if you like 2023, oh, we are going to have such a fun time together in exploring music, not just for my own enjoyment, right? So many new artists and people I'm learning about and entering the graces of and being able to interact with. It's so cool. And so many of you as well, to have a synonymy in my life of a fellowship, of a metal love. I don't have that readily personally. And to meet any one of you, and however you approach of whatever band familiarity and first introduction, I really do want you to feel at home here. This is certainly a thriving space for me, but just in our journeys together, again, humoring good music, I'm so excited for 2024. And to give Ex Libris its due, because I have one more upcoming Christmas event that was pushed out to the first week, and I'm trying to fit in a lot of work and preparation, so I have plenty of tunes for the road that we will have all humored on a first interaction. I think it would be best schedule-wise to push that off by a few days, just so I can walk in without distraction or trying to push it in. Though again, I'm not trying to do that either here. I just think 2 numbers is a little easier to manage right now, and possibly I'll be able to weave in the collaborations for right now. Who knows, again, on a later entrance. But we're going to enter the graces right now. Currently, I'm very excited for this, of DIANNE. This was the envisioned destination point, and what I thought would be a good goal for our journey, but I can't wait any longer. I find these pieces, from what I know, irresistible, and it's a very semblance small tease. I haven't been able to resist a couple of the previews that she put out, and the teasers sound quite great, but I'm really looking forward to humoring this next adventure of DIANNE van Giersbergen, of all of you, and giving her due diligence and recognition of later steps post-Zandria in her own symphonic metal efforts, with, I'm sure, such a dynamic introduction to Soulward Bound, which has so far released 2 pieces of its 5-year run of development, with 2 pieces per year, as I understand. But something I think that's going to be quite glamorous on experience. Just on temptation. I've been waiting to cover DIANNE in a greater depth, and we're doing just that together, with quite a dynamic piece and a competent visualizer, I'm sure, given Blackbriar had influence into the recording for it. You know I love Blackbriar, big favorite for me here. One of the first entrances I had in symphonic metal in particular, and an earlier entrance into the European metal world. Love that group, and equally I'm sure I will love the presentation of, again, what I revere at Blackbriar applied to After the Storm, being our initiation, following up with Unleash the Siren of what's currently available. I cannot wait to humor each piece. And certainly on a philosophical extreme, I find the thematic approach with After the Storm quite inspiring as a first temptation. The psychology of numbers, I love that one offered again by an inspirational declaration from the artist, and we have that motivation of understanding After the Storm is about taking ownership of yourself, and a self-empowerment sense, a really relatable journey that I'm sure we can all connect with. And to pair that with, I'm sure, transcendent vocal delivery and a symphonic metal music extreme, I've been waiting for this. I can't hold my glee back. It's been so long for me waiting. I've held out for months now with After the Storm, just waiting to get to it. And we finally get to humor it together today, perhaps whether on review perspective for you, with an initiate perspective for me, or mutual first interaction grounds. Maybe a welcome entrance for you to the world of DIANNE van Giersbergen's vocals, and I think you're going to be in for something quite memorable, even if you're not centrally a first and foremost operatic fan. I think she'll charm you into forming a fellowship of that type of extreme in music, and it's quite natural in the flow of symphonic metal. I think we're in for something special. Here we go, finally, after how long of waiting? No longer. Already perfect. Highly dramatic. Good bass foundation. But these builds are fantastic. Faster paced, aggressive symphonic facade to it. And a versatility in that wheelhouse of music, oh, plus the choir amplification. How beautiful.
The lights went down, the curtain fell, a lingering heart felt tear died away. The harmony.
Developmentally on vocals, so far on initiation, it's beautiful. Transfixing quality. Perfect pair on riff, too. Those higher vibratos, I love it. Man, her vocals just click. Any extreme they hit. Oh, that light twinge, too. Good effect and employment. Love it. There's a perfect association here with the inspirational spirits of the song blended with the lyrical drive and the mood of the operatic. It's fantastic. Invigorated release. Drawn out transitions too, not bad. Great backing on this one. I've said it before, she's not afraid to hit any extreme. Any capability demanded by a number's flow. It's just so even. Wow. This next chapter is opening so well. The key choice is perfect too, especially for the flow integrated with the vocal balancing. The second section within the chorus development, fantastic. Beautiful drama to this number, and the way the vocals might trail, again, the decisions on where she takes her voice. First entrance, it's like every proficient extreme of in symphonic metal. Equivalent strengths to not only her experienced history, but many of my favorites. The synthetic twinge. Wow. How striking it is, too.
My love, I bid farewell and bestow the flame. Hold it high, bright it shines when I reclaim my soul.
Real versatility of range, a lower force here. It's just perfect. Again, with the transformation immediately. I love it. Can't say it enough. This chapter opens on such a spectacular note, my friends. Doesn't it? Wow. You know, from the window of experience I have, in mutual introduction, of course, to her work, via Zandria first. Oh, you see shades. The prowess of that era. With her involvement, again, I set a golden achievement on Zandria's voice there, because it certainly applies to both the credit of Sacrificium and Theater of Dimensions. To see the transference and exaggeration of talent, readily boastful with After the Storm. And to be clear, I'm not trying to place this piece and experience on a comparison scale between Zandria and DIANNE. As she indicated, I did see that little, I've mentioned it before, that Instagram clip that's been floating around from, I guess, a live stream she did, which I've taken so many of her quotes in terms of 2024 life philosophies. It's hilarious. I mean, it's easy. Just her demeanor. There's something, again, watching DIANNE perform, and I've said this before with the credit of Zandria. Let me get back to what I was originally saying. I'm not trying in any way to compare, because the two, as she said, are allowed to coexist to different extremes and expressions. I really see the prowess, though, again, her time with that group readily explored here with greater emphasis and certainly vocal reach. It amazes me again, the level of power in her voice paired to that higher range. Isn't that incredible? Again, I've not welcomed many spinto soprano talents at that level yet. I'm open to many more, and feel free to fill the comment section of recommendations if you have them. But the development on how the vocals are so transcendent to this piece, mirrored with the backing. Again, I had little windows of bits of the score based on the teasers I couldn't help observing, but you can't when you held out for this long. Anyway, but I with the number, I've had to postpone it forcefully, but now to finally entertain it in full and understand in context its fully realized symphonic vision with beautiful traits of, again, I would say a natural power metal immersion, similar in framework to, again, treasured Zandria pieces of her time with that group, amplified though. And that one transition area in the score with the synths, I loved it. Heightening on energy with that. Perfect development, and how long it lingered too. But it's her vocals that really stand forward, and paired with the lyrics. I love the syncopation in those chorus structures and the choice on key, and even an evolution towards chorus sections on. There's a differentiation between the two different areas, even with the with the lyrical differentiation, yes, but on key, an evident and natural contrast, but both equally admirable in how they materialize with key focus and development into the chorus sections. Truly a remarkable score. I love the backbone of After the Storm on Approach. It's a beautiful piece. I knew it would be on Temptation. I just didn't know what it would sound like fully realized. And now that we see the real emphasis put on the score and how we're introduced to the graces of this number and the initiation to Soulward Bound with DIANNE's next chapter in musical development, I absolutely love it. And I can't wait for future adventures whenever they materialize, with one more incoming quite soon. Anyway, the progression, though, in the piece and the different extremes she hits vocally, again, this was present in our examinations of previous regard, but here, aptly exercised, and the adventurism, again, in her range. That second pre-chorus, I think it's like a high G into an A. Truly, the woman is a force, isn't she? Remarkable. And plus, with the visualizer, competent as I expected with the Blackbriar delivery, but quite adventurous, fantasy-like, very alluring in a natural setting. I loved its picturesque feel, certainly. But just in the performance, the evident love and passion she has for music, certainly symphonic metal, but her vocal capabilities. Any visualizer, best of course imagined by live experiences, right? But any visualizer gives you a semblance of connection, and you readily see it, and you feel that emotional pull within you when you witness After the Storm fully realized, with the coupling of DIANNE's very strong and assertive vocals blended so naturally to the vision of the number. It's a welcome retreat. I knew we were in for a fun time, and to fit this in before I hit the road, oh, I can't wait to experience this number again. I couldn't hold out any longer. Again, next chapters of DIANNE von Giersbergen exploration incoming, whenever those are, certainly to Ex Libris and many of her collaborations, but to enter this present chapter of where she is, in a symphonic metal extreme, what a welcome entrance we have to a real force in the market, for sure, and I cannot wait to humor more. Soulward Bound seems to be evolving very well from our initiation point. I hope you would agree, though again, music is very much a subjective experience in how we accustom ourselves to it, so feel free to chime in on your own independent thoughts and your vantage point. Is this a fresh introduction for you to DIANNE von Giersbergen, or are you a familiarized listener perhaps to her work with Zandria or Ex Libris or outside projects, or maybe even DIANNE in preparation? I'd love to hear about it. I find it quite a favorable adventure. I knew it would be on suspicion. Again, that's the point of response I had with Zandria in our extensive deep dive, and I knew anything forthcoming, again, of more of a depth of operatic exploration for me. But again, of such caliber and range, and the control she has with strict definition, this is truly quite a dynamic listen. And even considering as well the way the score is measured on part of lyrical involvement. On the chorus section, that last line, demonized, terrorized, scorned. Those higher inflections, by the way, when she hits those notes, the O's really stand out. Again, her voice, a chief memory for me in every exploration with humor. And After the Storm will sit into that same respect, and I'm sure any entry on Soulward Bound subsequent will also fit that mold. I have no doubt concerning DIANNE, and it is a welcome retreat to get a window for her capabilities in present-day standing. I've waited, and the opportunity, it's finally reached us. So great. Thank you so much for watching this video. Before you bounce, feel free to drop a like and comment, subscribe to this channel with a ding on the bell, and share this video with your friends. And consider checking out the description here. There you'll find links to my other channels, as well as addresses to my other social media accounts and ways you can help support my work if you feel so inclined. May God bless you, and looking forward to when our paths cross again.